Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses. Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Keystone Home Inspections, Reed Plumbing, the Iowa Rush Soccer Club, 72 Degrees, your comfort company, the Sassy Flower Bakery, Alter Trading Corporation, West 40 Market, Nolte & Sons Lawn and Irrigation, Rod Brannon with Shelter Insurance, the New York Life Offices of Josh Cowart, Dr. Brett Renzi and Health First Chiropractic, U.S. Cellular, the Helpful Smiles of Hy-Vee, Dr. Christy Semro with iMart Express, and Springer Floor Care.
Everything we do is here to benefit the client. Every decision that's needed to be made, the first question you should ask is, does this benefit the client, and is this the best thing for the client?
Our goal is to make a difference. We have the tools, resources, training, and leadership to make a difference in our agents' lives and their careers. And then they can then take that to make a difference in their clients' lives and ultimately make a difference in our communities.
We are available basically 24/7 to make sure that our agents are getting the support they need to look like $1 million in front of their clients.
Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses. Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Fiscus Jewelers, Rainbow of the Heartland, the all-new Prairie Trail Sports Complex, All-Star Concrete, the Zoom Room, Knockerball 118, Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital, Cabaret Sports Bar and Grill, and Wendy Thompson, an affiliate of Humble Travel.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses. Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Nick Jarash Fitness, Weichert Realtors, the 515 Agency, Ted. Good afternoon and welcome to Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire, today on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Got a fun softball game, a rare Friday afternoon doubleheader. The Ankeny Centennial Jaguars will first take on Estherville Lincoln Central. The Midgets are in town, and I'm not just calling them that because they look small. They don't actually look small. That's their actual mascot. Had a great chance to talk with their head coach earlier today, Megan Anderson, to find out the history behind that. We will certainly talk about that as the game goes on today. I've got with me this afternoon Kevin Fisher. Coach Fisher, it's great to have you in here today. Estherville Lincoln Central, a team that looking for great competition, not shying away from it all. Ranked 5th in Class 3A. The Jaguars, of course, ranked number 1 in Class 5A. And as we look at them come out and have their Coach Megan Anderson, Coach Brett Delaney, 3-man crew here today. And as we look at things here, as the defense is really what has set apart Estherville Lincoln Central, and really a couple outstanding pitchers.
Yeah, you look at their numbers just here in the last several games even, and then over the course of the season, they've been very strong on the mound, something that the Jaguars have also been able to represent. But they're going to have to be ready to go today, make sure, because you got two good pitchers that could be coming at you.
a couple very good pitchers. Riley Yeager, one of those. I'm not sure exactly. Do we have which one we're going to see here?
We're going to see
Yeager
for the game.
We're going to see Yeager. Okay,
yeah,
we will. We'll have Yeager there. A .89, sparkling .9 89. Sorry, I can't even talk. A sparkling .89 earned run average as she'll step out there here today. Yeager, just a sophomore. She will go up against the Jaguars phenom 8th grader Lauren Sandholm. Sandholm has been very good in the circle so far this year. She comes in, let's see, she is 8-1 in her starts so far this year. An earned run average of 2 points. Excuse me, that's Gustafson. An earned run average of .89 as well. So a couple good, young, talented pitchers that we look forward to seeing here today. Again, as we have our three-man crew, shouldn't really change anything from what we will see here today, but certainly we'll have a great angle on everything as they get ready to go. As they talk about some of the ground rules around here, really nothing out of the ordinary here at Ankeny Centennial. All the gates close, everything is there, so
yep,
obviously nothing off the nets is live, but I know when I talked to Coach Anderson this morning, she was really looking forward to having her team down here today. They've traveled a lot this year. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. They really have traveled to look for good competition. They've got a very, very talented group of just athletes in general, girls who have been to state in several sports and looking forward to compete right now in softball.
Yeah, just a solid all around. Like I said, this is a little bit smaller school, but they, a lot of those girls play in multi-sports, and that's what you're looking for. A lot of athletes, like you said, out there on the field today.
And it is now time for our starting lineups, brought to you by 72 Degrees, the Comfort Company. And now we go to our public address announcer, Randy Vogel.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Centennial Softball Field in Ankeny, Iowa. Today's first game of the Prongy Softball Classic matches the visitors from Esterville Lincoln Central out of the Lakes Conference. They have an overall record of 24 wins and 1 loss against the home team, Ankeny Centennial, out of the Central Iowa Metro League with an overall record of 22 wins and 4 losses. We ask that all spectators exhibit good sportsmanship towards our umpires, coaches, and players. Now let's meet the starting lineups for each team. First, for our visitors, the ELC Midgets. Leading off and playing left field, number 12, Bree Christopher. Batting second, she's in the circle today, number 19, Riley Yeager. Batting third, the third baseman, number 9, Tatum Dunleavy. In the cleanup spot, playing right field, number 16, Haley Stokes. Behind the plate today, number 27, Hillary Rushy. Batting sixth, the shortstop, J.C. Anderson. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 14, Jordan Stokes. In the 8th spot, she wears number 8, plays first base, Evelyn Naff. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 1, Kara Schiltz. The Midgets are coached by assistant coaches Lena McCoy and Nathaniel Dunleavy. The head coach is Megan Anderson. And now for the home team, the Centennial Jaguars. Leading off, playing center field, number 15, Mackenzie James. Batting second, the right fielder, number 3, Peyton Gorefke. In the 3 spot, she plays first base, number 25, Jordan Kennedy. In the cleanup spot, she's behind the plate today, number 28, Sydney Morris. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 11, Maddie Ott. Batting sixth, she's playing shortstop, number 13, Mariah Belzer. In the 7th spot, the second baseman, number 10, Cora Boyle. At the high hot corner today, number 12, Addie Starr. Batting ninth, number 1, the designated player, Malin Vallejo. And in the circle today for the Jaguars, number 6, Lauren Sandholm. The Jaguars are coached by assistant coaches Rachel Whiteside, Abby Husek, and Franny Burnett. The head coach for the Jags, Brett Delaney. The umpires for this afternoon's first game, Tim Rogers, Ron Taylor, and Phil Crease. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please join us and direct your attention to the flag as we honor America.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Drosh Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching, we have the best technology, we have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
And welcome back to Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. Andy Pollock and the coach, Kevin Fisher, here with you today, along with our director-producer, Kashvan Bali, running the show, Ellie Pollock on the camera as we take you our multi-camera shoot today, since for the first time in a while we do not appear to, well, we obviously don't have a baseball game going on as well, so able to focus all our equipment here on this one event here tonight. So that'll be great as you see Lauren Sandholm in the circle for the Jaguars out there, the 8th grader with a .89 earned run average. Just a great start to her career here as a Jaguar. Around the infield, she will be pitching to Sydney Morris, longtime catcher, 4-year starter for the Jaguars. 4-year starter, Addie, well, 3-year starter, I should say now, Addie Starr over at third base, a junior. Mariah Belzer, the outstanding shortstop there, future Rogers State athlete, D2 national champs at second base. Cora Boyle in her 2nd year starting. Jordan Kennedy, the outstanding freshman over at first base, hitting over 500 on the season, a bunch of home runs. We'll talk about her as the day goes on. Another outstanding freshman who's had some huge hits lately, Maddie Ott, out in left field, 4-year starter. Mackenzie James is out in center, and 3-year starter junior Peyton Drefke is out in right. Leading things off for Esterville Lincoln Central, the Midgets, is Bree Christopher. She steps up here today as the music has us going as well. And we are about ready to go, waiting for the okay. Again, 3-man umpiring crew today. Christopher comes in batting .378 on the season in her role, the senior. Her role is to obviously get on base. First pitch from Sandholm, inside corner for a strike. There's going to be a key right now for Sandholm. Will be getting ahead, something, even though she got the win against Valley on Wednesday night, a huge win against Valley. Not able to work ahead in some of those counts and really had a tough time getting it past the pitcher. She couldn't really control the counts in that situation.
No, yeah, she fell behind the count there a few times, worked her way through it through several situations, but like you say, got deep in the count on several batters, and I think she would like to try to work on that as we go through the day-to-day here.
Here's the 0-2 pitch to Christopher. Goes to a rise ball, just misses a little bit upstairs. And that makes count 2-1.
And she'll have her work cut out here for the, looks like at the top of the lineup here for the Midgets is, you got several batters batting .400. One even Dunleavy there in the third spot, batting 500.
Christopher does a good job of fighting off the outside pitch. You saw Morris adjust to the outside there at the very end. The field is looking immaculate today here at Centennial. There's been some water issues out in right field with a busted line on the sprinkler head, but everything looking very good today. 1-2 again. That pitch fouled over into the Centennial warm-up area as Christopher continues to battle against the 8th grader Sandholm.
Yeah, as high school fields go, I've always felt like we had a pretty nice place here to play. Nice facilities to work with for the kids and for the spectators, too, at the same time.
Davis County will be the next opponent for the Jaguars here after game number 1. Sandholm goes to the changeup on the outside to get that first punch-out of the day for Lauren.
Nice pitch there by Sandholm. Just a little change up the pace, and batter got way out in front, and nice little strikeout to start the game.
Riley Yeager, our pitcher for today, coming up now, and she, in her sophomore year, batting .506. Her first pitch from the slapper, or the first swing from the slapper, is a strike. Sandholm doing a nice job of getting ahead in the count. See the Jaguars playing with those corners in, condensing that infield right now. That ball slapped away. Oh, over right off the ankle. Yeah, over the ankle there of Tatum Dunleavy, the other pitcher, who will likely be pitching when they play the Hawks in the next game.
Yep.
And she initially kind of glared at her teammates, all in good fun.
Yeah, a little playful smile there at the end, I think.
There's a pitch from Sandholm. Again, working ahead on these first couple batters. That pitch misses just outside.
And it's a lot different when you get that opportunity to be ahead on your batters. It's just amazing how your options open up a little bit more on what pitches you throw.
And there's another strikeout for Sandholm. Home plate umpire here in game number 1, Tim Rogers. He's out of Eastern Iowa. Ron Taylor at first base. Phil Crease over at third. So our first opportunity this year to see a 3-man crew cover that infield. And the aforementioned Dunleavy steps up to the plate. First pitch, a rise ball from Sandholm.
Dunleavy kind of represents a little bit of the power here on the midgets. She has 10 home runs this year, I believe, on the season, and batting .500 herself for the year.
She's got the speed as well. 23 stolen bases for her. That pitch inside corner, swung on and missed for strike 2. Jaguars looking for a fast start here on defense. Swing and a miss. Strike number 3. Nice. Sandholm strikes out the side here in the top of the first. 0-0 our score. Back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Rush Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching. We have the best technology. We have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
And we're back here on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire. Andy Pollock, Kevin Fisher, as Lauren Sandholm strikes out the first 3 midget batters of the game. As we head to the Jaguar half of the first, outstanding senior Mackenzie James will start things off for the Jaguars. In the circle for Estherville Lincoln Central is Riley Yeager, the sophomore we talked about, her having a great season so far, a .89 earned run average. As Mackenzie James steps up to the plate. First pitch upstairs for a ball.
One of the things I think you look at both these pitchers, not only their ERA, I was just looking at their walks on the year, and it looks like 34 combined for the season, which is only about 1 a game if you think of the number of games they played to this point, which is phenomenal.
Should keep us in a pretty good tempo here today. Hillary Rushy, the catcher, sophomore catcher for Estherville Lincoln Central. Over at first base is Evelyn Nath. That pitch is inside, so now 3-0 to Mackenzie James. Peyton Drefke waiting on deck now. Second baseman Jordy Stokes for Esterville Lincoln Central. She digs in. That pitch does catch the inside corner on the 3-0 to James. Could not quite get the green light this year. Thought maybe she would have a chance here in her 4th season of starting, but she's hit a couple bombs, including the other night off the scoreboard. Here's a 3-1, and that is a walk. Missed a little bit low, I think, from up here.
I kidded. I made a comment the other night. Her growth over the years, and there might have been 2 years ago. Maybe she had her own green light, but she's matured great behind the at the plate, and has done an excellent job with the bat here.
So now the junior Peyton Drefke comes up, and that is her role, is to sacrifice things over there at first base. That's what happens when you got a pitcher playing third. Tatum Dunleavy starts rolling over. She was all the way over. Her momentum took her all the way over past the pitcher, and then she decided that her best move was going to be to throw it underhanded to Nath. And that'll bring up the Jaguars' first baseman, Jordan Kennedy, having an incredible freshman season right now. 9 home runs, batting .506. She had a great 8th grade season. Now what you see is a lot more teams know what she can bring to the table. You see a lot more teams pitching around her right now as well. As that pitch is a nice pitch. A little movement on that pitch. Almost kind of some slider action coming there.
Although it's getting harder to pitch around when you go up and down this lineup. You look at Sid Morris sitting right behind her, who's batting over 400. It's kind of hard just to put her on base and go right to Sid.
Jordan fights off that inside pitch to make the count 1-2. So Yeager looking forward here to see what she will throw, being ahead in the count on the 1-2 delivery, and she hits Kennedy in the knee.
Ouch.
Kennedy brushes it off and heads to first. The teams have been putting her there on purpose. Now, as soon as she gets to first, she decides maybe that doesn't feel so good. She initially acted like it didn't hurt, but you saw her hobble a little bit once she got down to first base, and that'll bring up Sydney Morris. And Morris, the other night in that huge win against Valley in game number 1, was 3 for 4. Got things started off very well. The catcher looks at that first pitch upstairs from Yeager. A lot of white out there on the field right now.
Yep.
Crisp, those uniforms in that bright, sunshiny day today. They are looking bright. So Morris digs in against Yeager, watches that pitch upstairs as well. So Yeager really working that top part of the zone early on, or trying to work the top part of the zone.
Yeah, she's working that top, and then we'll see if she changes that perspective or if she keeps going to it.
2-0 to Morris. Morris puts that one through the 5.5 hole. And she gets a single and loads the bases for Maddie Ott. And Maddie Ott's been in a situation like this before. Maddie Ott the other night in the first inning against number 5 Valley, Ott hits a grand slam as
there was
Morris, the catcher, takes a seat. We have our first Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution. Addie Pollock comes in to run at first base. And she's got a knack for being on base this year when home runs have been hit.
Yeah, that's right. This looks like, this is a good omen right here, having her on base right now.
Ott digs in. Right now, again, she's had just a great freshman year. Fouls that first pitch off from Yeager. Ott has 5 home runs on the season, is batting .403 as a freshman for Coach Brett Delaney. 0-1, though, the pitch to her from Yeager. And that pitch didn't miss by much. But the nice part is, again, after you look at this heart of the order right now, and you're looking at Jordan Kennedy, then you're looking at Sydney Morris, then you're looking at Maddie Ott, and then, then you've got your shortstop that's going to Rogers State
that's right.
After that. So, Ott shows bunt, everybody has to run back. The ball took a great hop there over to Tatum Dunleavy at third base. I think that was a ball, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was a ball just down the dirt there on the inside.
Umpire's going to talk. Yep, they say 2-1.
Yeah,
so
off the glove there, just kind of skipped off the edge of the glove with the catcher there, and but it fortuitous bounce.
She showed bunt, which with bases loaded, not conventional. As she puts that one over there, that's going to be a foul ball as Dunleavy was looking to turn 2. She knew exactly what she wanted to do with it,
Yep.
but Ott way in front of that pitch. Jaeger will come in around 61, 62 miles an hour with her fastball, and she likes to complement it with about a 10-mile-an-hour changeup, drop off there. But the key's going to be changing planes against these Jaguar hitters. Ott swing and a miss, and talk about changing planes. That pitch had some movement upstairs on it.
Went up on her. Good movement in the zone there by the pitcher.
Mariah Belzer now steps up to the plate for the Jaguars, playing school ball this year after having an outstanding club career. Belzer batting .370. Watches that first pitch for a strike. Jaguars 22-4, ranked number 1 in Class 5A. The rankings came out again yesterday after everybody in the CIML split. And including the Jaguars, there's nowhere else to move anybody. So the Jaguars maintain their number 1 spot.
Yeah.
Waukee Northwest ranked number 2. Ankeny ranked number 3. Then you get Muscatine out of Eastern Iowa ranked number 4. Now 0-2 the count to Belzer. And we've really seen the upper part of the zone worked here, and that's going to be outside. And that we've seen that pitch called a strike throughout the season this year. Not today, but definitely
close
throughout the year. And now it's 1-2 to Belzer. And then that pitch is fouled. You see that changeup that comes in. Just enough change on it, trying to keep the Jaguar hitters at bay. As Jaeger now tries to work her way out of a jam. Had full count, or bases loaded with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Jaguars trying to punch some runs across. Belzer pops that one up. That's going to get out of play.
foul ball.
Over off the light pole.
I think Belzer's going to be is definitely going to be a key hitter here as we get into the postseason. You know, she's had a decent season. I know she's got more in the tank there, and I think she's just starting to get to that point where she's, excelling even more here. So it's she's going to be important, I think, just down the line at that 6 hole.
That pitch is downstairs, evens up the count at 2 apiece. The bases are loaded with Jaguars right now for Mariah Belzer. 2-2 the count. Senior trying to get the Jaguars on the scoreboard here. There it is, puts it out in the gap in right center field. That carries all the way back to the fence. A 1 hops to it. 1 run comes across. Here comes Kennedy. Pollock rounding third. She's going to be safe as there's a collision over there at second base between Belzer and the shortstop, and an obstruction was called. I don't know if they're going to give Belzer that base or not.
No.
J.C. Anderson collided with Belzer on the high throw, but Belzer comes through clutch. The Jaguars have put up a crooked number here in the first inning, and that's one thing the other night with lots of opportunities against Valley in game number 2 that they lost. The Jaguars were not able to get that key hit at a key moment.
Yeah, you're exactly right. We just had, we had base runners and just didn't take care of those opportunities, and there's a situational deal right there. Just talking about Belzer a second ago, she's going to be key, and I think they're going to find themselves in a lot of those situations that down in that part of the lineup with the batters that they have, and she came through with a great base hit there.
Well, and it's in that right spot there. That's exactly where we want to get it with runners in scoring position. Gets herself a double and clears the bases. Now for Cora Boyle, and you talk about another batter for the Jaguars who's really come on strong as of late. As she watches that pitch upstairs, it rolls to the backstop, and Belzer heads to third. Belzer was thinking about coming home as Rushy couldn't get a handle on the ball.
Yeah. Sorry, I jumped in there a little too soon. Yeah, she came around that corner and the ball was still kind of away, and Belzer has enough speed where if you're not paying attention, she'll take an extra bag on you.
So now the count 1-0 to Cora Boyle. She's batting .385 right now. Has really come on strong, especially over the last couple weeks. Puts that one over there to the shortstop. Anderson, the coach's daughter, makes the play, throws it across to Nath for out number 3. The Jaguars, however, put up 3 in the bottom of the first. They lead 3-0. We'll be back right after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Everything we do is here to benefit the client. Every decision that's needed to be made, the first question you should ask is, does this benefit the client, and is this the best thing for the client?
Our goal is to make a difference. We have the tools, resources, training, and leadership to make a difference in our agents' lives and their careers. And then they can then take that to make a difference in their clients' lives and ultimately make a difference in our communities.
We are available basically 24/7 to make sure that our agents are getting the support they need to look like $1 million in front of their clients.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Rush Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best coaching, we have the best technology, we have the programming that can help them succeed. So whether it's trying to get on JV for the first time, going to that next level on varsity, going from a second string to an all-state player, we have the tools, we have the programming and the coaching in order to take each individual to their next level.
And we're back here, top of the second inning on Centennial Digital. Today on the Central Iowa Sports Network, driven by Freedom Tire. The first pitch again, Lauren Sandholm, the 8th grader, working ahead. She's going up right now against Stokes. That's Haley Stokes, the sophomore. Very, very good basketball player. In fact, that'll probably be her college future, but outstanding to see multi-sport athletes out here doing a lot of stuff. And I know they've got a really, really good track team over there. Coach Anderson just raves about how good of athletes and just how fun of crew this is. These midgets from Estherville Lincoln Central, as Sandholm gets another strike. So I had to ask, though. I said, how do you get midgets as a nickname? So it's an interesting story as that pitch is fouled off. As she thinks it was back around the 1920s or so. Estherville was playing a team that was much bigger than them in football, and the newspaper reporter had called them a bunch of midgets heading out to play. They looked like a bunch of midgets against a much bigger football team, and as that changeup has popped up, Sandholm doing a great job there keeping the hitter off balance. But the team, the newspaper reporter, had said they look like a bunch of midgets. Well, Estherville Lincoln Central won the ball game that day, and so the midgets stuck, and they're able to still continue using that right now. They use it as kind of a chip on the shoulder, blue-collar mentality up in that town. They take a lot of pride in that nickname. As Sandholm gets one in on the hands, they say foul ball, double contact made with Stokes.
I think that came off of her foot or ankle as it came down on the ground there in the box.
Sandholm has just been off to a great start here in the circle. 3 strikeouts so far.
Yeah, she's done a wonderful job. I mean, you think about it, she's an 8th grader, just barely 14 years old. I think she just turned 14.
Just turned, yeah.
5 or 14, right?
Would have just turned
or
15. Yeah, just 15. Had her 15th birthday.
It's been a while since I've been back in 8th grade. So, but she's doing just a phenomenal job.
There's her 4th strikeout of the day. Again, goes upstairs. That ball changes planes as it's coming in, and you can see the upward mobility on it right now. And that heat of the day, I don't know if that extra sweat on the ball right now is able to help her get a little movement, but it is looking good right now. Rushy, the catcher, goes after the first pitch, swing and a miss, 4-1. Looks down to get some instruction. Coach Anderson said she's worked with this group of girls for a long time. Her daughter is one of them over at shortstop. That pitch is called a strike on the outside corner. Got the stitch of the ball, caught the black part of the plate. 0-2 the count from Sandholm. Goes right back to that outside corner, and she's worked with those 2 strikes. She has worked all portions of the plate.
Tried to take a little bigger nibble off the edge there on that last one. Just not quite on the plate.
Here's the 1-2. Swung on, popped right back towards us. That beautiful new netting that was fundraised for by the parents and several businesses in town in the last year. They got this netting up. It certainly provides us with a much better view of the game.
Yes.
You can't see it here on the stream, but there used to be poles about every 5 feet that you had to watch the ball travel through a lot of sections of fence. Sandholm puts that one in the dirt. Good snag made by Sydney Morris. 2-2 the count from Sandholm to Hillary Rushy, sophomore catcher for Estherville Lincoln Central. This is game 1 of the day for both these teams. That pitch fouled back again. So Estherville Lincoln Central playing here against the Jaguars. Davis County from down in southern Iowa is playing Ankeny at Ankeny right now. These 2 schools, it's about, by the time you load everybody on the bus, it's probably about a 12-minute trip back and forth between Ankeny and Centennial. So the Estherville Lincoln Central Davis County will switch places after game number 1. And that pitch is off the handle of the bat of Rushy, and it will remain 2-2.
Might be 14 minutes today with the road construction.
Yeah, it's right. You can't take the straight. You can't come
You
up
can't do a
Ash
bee-
anymore.
Yeah, no, you can't do a beeline
You
straight
have to
down.
come around the southwest side of Prairie Ridge. I feel like I'm a Californian all the time now, talking about traffic all the time in Ankeny. Sandholm goes outside and misses just barely on the outside. Yeah, I was with a group of neighbors last night talking, and that's traffic was dominating the conversation about how hard it is to get around Ankeny right now. We've got a great town to live in, but, man, this summer they're testing a lot of people's patience. Sandholm goes to the curveball and issues her first walk, and as you mentioned, that does not happen very often with her.
No, that's pretty rare with Sandholm. She's usually just finding her spots as she goes along, and, either it's a strikeout or there's a ball in play somewhere.
J.C. Anderson steps up to the plate now. Coach's daughter, junior. Lefty takes a first swing there and misses. See that rotation? I always love to see a good rotation out of the infield on the throwbacks or whatever it should look like, and you see everybody shifting one direction, shifting another. All the bases are covered.
Yep.
Anderson shows bunt. Sandholm picks it up, throws it off her back foot over to first where Boyle is covering, and quickly try to throw back to get behind Rushy at second, not able to do it. And that is something that, we saw several of the great Fort Dodge teams. They were always so good at that, about throwing back. In softball, you're very aggressive. You're rounding the bases hard.
Yes.
And Fort Dodge has made so many teams pay for that decision with throwing behind the runners.
Yep. It's amazing the opportunities you can get if you're just on your toes, ready to do it, and everybody's in sync, like you said. Just like when you're fielding a bunt, same thing on that throw behind. A lot of times you can snag a runner catching or sleeping.
Jordan Stokes up to the plate right now. She is the older of the two Stokes sisters here on the midget team. And the count is quickly 0-2 to her from Sandholm. Working on 2 outs. Swing and a miss. Strike number 3. Sandholm adds 2 more strikeouts to her tally. Jaguars up 3-0. We'll come back to the bottom of the second right after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses: Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Fiscus Jewelers, Rainbow of the Heartland, the all-new Prairie Trail Sports Complex, All-Star Concrete, the Zoom Room, Knocker Ball 118, Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital, Cabaret Sports Bar and Grill, and Wendy Thompson, an affiliate of Humble Travel.
And we're back high above the field here on the north side of Ankeny. Ankeny Centennial High School celebrating their 10th year as a school this year. It's been a great year of athletics. In fact, all but one sport at Centennial this year has made it to the state tournament.
Had a great,
Coach with the first-year athletic director, Nate Lindgren, and assistant athletic director, Blake Crookshank, they are very proud of that this year. There's been a lot of success across the board.
Yeah.
Addie Starr, the third baseman, long-time starter for the Jaguars, 3rd year of starting. In fact, an all-stater a year ago. 0-1 the count right now to her. Jaguars working on a 3-0 lead. That pitch just misses inside. We haven't seen, it looked almost like a screwball. We haven't seen a whole lot of those, but boy, when we get up to the state tournament here in a couple weeks, you see a lot of pitchers living off that screwball.
Yes. There's going to be a lot of working inside and up. Nice hit.
And there's a hit by Starr.
Andy Starr with a shot to left field for a leadoff single in the bottom half of the second. Now we go to the designated player number 1.
So Starr over there to first, and that'll bring in Malin Vallejo. Vallejo, the designated player here today, batting .429 on the season. The lefty speedster. That's if she gets the ball on the ground right now. A great situation with her with a runner already on first. That pitch is called strike on the outside, but if Malin can get this one on the ground, you're going to see her speed and how fast she gets down that line to first base. Outstanding speed.
Yeah, even if a fielder cleans it, or fielder picks it clean, she can a lot of times still beat that throw out.
Not able to get that bunt down on the ground as it's popped up. And now that changes things a little bit to one of these slapping hitters. Still a lot of room over there on that left side of the infield for Vallejo with Addie Starr on first. Pitch is down. Jaguars have had 3 hits so far against outstanding sophomore pitcher Yeager here for Riley Yeager for Esterville Lincoln Central. That pitch misses outside. Starr getting a big lead over there at first. Nath looking to get something thrown back over there. And now it's 2-2 to Vallejo as the slapper digs in, watches that pitch on the outside. Full count to Malin. Pops that one up, and that is going to be just foul down the line. And that's one of those, Malin might as well be on second base if she can master that one. And we've seen her this year get some hits over the infield when everybody's in, even popped a couple over the outfielders when they bring the outfielders in. You don't see that from Esterville Lincoln Central right now. They're leaving that gap, and that's where she's trying to place it.
Yeah.
Full count to Vallejo. Gets that one on the ground and fights it off. Right decision there. She was going to have to try to put that one in play regardless. It was too close not to swing at, especially on a full count.
Yeah. Good idea. Just foul it off, get another pitch to see. She's going to see if she can try to squeeze one between short and third here. Get something in between just on the ground real quick and leg it out.
Gets that one over there to third, picked up, throws across. They try to turn 2. It's thrown out into right field. The right fielder was over covering the backup on third. The Jaguars going to roll all the way through. Vallejo in safe at third. Addie Starr comes around to score from first. And that's tough on the rotation. That's a bad break. That's a one-base error on the throw, but it ends up being come all the way around because your right fielder over there is expecting the ball to be thrown over to right.
Right. They were doing what they were supposed to be doing in that situation, and unfortunately, when the throw went to second instead of first because they were trying to get the lead runner, and like you say, she's out of position, and when it's an overthrow, all of a sudden one-base overthrow becomes 2 or 3.
And that'll bring up Mackenzie James. Drew the walk to start the game today. The walk, right? That's what she had. Correct. Yeah, James had the walk.
Yeah, she started out with the walk today.
With Malin Vallejo over on third, Peyton Drefke waiting in the circle. A lot of umbrellas out today in the sunshine as James tries to get the ball back here to us. You're going to have a tough time getting it through all the layers.
Got a couple layers of net here in front of us, which we love, though.
0-2 the count right now from Yeager to Mackenzie James. Here's the pitch. And the changeup, thought it, that did not miss by much. It might have been a little bit low.
Just barely.
That drop change fell off the table from Yeager.
Pitcher's dad, you're talking to the umpire.
You've been there, huh?
I've been there, yeah. As one of those pitcher's dads that sits in the stands and gets to watch now, it's one of those where you're like, you want your daughter to get that pitch. When your team's batting, you don't want them to give it up.
1-2 the count right now. Mackenzie James at the plate. Malin Vallejo at third. Peyton Drefke in the circle. That pitch fouled off there by by James. James will take her talent south to the land of Sonny Simpson, Indianola, next year for Simpson College. Play for head coach Brent Mathias. Guy that I actually in the past have called several games on the radio with. That was his background. As James hacks that one, deep drive to left center field, and it is dropped out there. 2 different midgets had their hand on it, and James on the air will be in there safe at second.
Yeah, the 2 of them, the outfielders there, center and right or left, had a beat on it. They just got close to each other there, and I think they got a little nervous when they heard each other's footsteps and right off the edge of the tip of the glove, and James walks into second base there.
And Drefke now the opportunity to maybe not sacrifice. She was, at last check, led the state in sacrifice bunts. See where she stands right now. I don't think this will be one of those situations right now, though. She has 7 sacrifice bunts on the year, along with 7 walks from her number 2 spot as she watches that pitch. Drefke, however, batting .406. So when she's not sacrificing, she's figuring out a way to get on base.
She's a victim of Mackenzie's success. She's been batting well off the leadoff, and then when you come up as the second batter, your job is a lot of times just to move them over and get them into scoring position. But like you say, she has a good bat. She's a good athlete. She's a multi-sport athlete, as we were talking about. Good golfer. I know she's played some basketball. We know she runs fast because she's out there in the outfield. She can do a little of everything.
She's learned from her father the golf game. I've been told that maybe she's been out on the links with you at some point in the past too. That maybe picked up a couple pointers from the former pro.
That's right. Yeah, I used to call it a former life when I was a golf pro years back. But yeah, we spent a couple times out there at the golf course and just went over a couple things there before the state tournament, and which she had a good showing in this year, top 15 showing in the state tournament for the girls.
0-2 the count to Drefke from Jaeger. Drefke puts that one out into the right spot there in right center field, and nice job covering out there on the right side as James tags up, and she's going to get to third. And
he flies out to right field.
Oh, that's well.
And Haley
Stokes covering a lot of ground out there.
Reaches third on the sacrifice, bringing up
Gets there, and the Jaguars move James forward. There's still just one out. And a base available for Jordan Kennedy if they want to allow it right now, but I'm not sure this is a situation for that as she gets that one in off the hands from Jaeger.
Stokes did a great job tracking that down. I thought that actually was going to drop in between them. She made a good play on the ball and actually a good throw over to the bag. It was actually a pretty close play over there at third on the tag up.
Right to the power alley. A nice spot there from Drefke. Kennedy fouls that one back behind us. Jags lead 5-0 right now on the bottom of the second with an out. They have hit the ball well against Riley Jaeger. 3 hits here through 1 1/3 inning. A couple errors on Esterville Lincoln Central as well as Kennedy watches that changeup miss just upstairs. Makes the count 1-2. Pitch is way outside. It's a good day to be in the air conditioning where we are right now up high above at Centennial. I think we had that thing set about, it was probably about 48 degrees I think when I walked in here. No, just not quite that cold, but
icebox. It
was an icebox. I got in earlier. Actually, maybe I had to warm it up a little bit. Need some extra balls to come in right now. Balls have all popped out of play. Sandholm steps out of the dugout to throw to her counterpart, Jaeger. But yeah, it is a warm one. I know it was said 90 on my thermometer as I came over, and it's every bit of that, and maybe even a little bit more right now.
Yeah, good Iowa summer day.
That's exactly what it feels. It smelled like it when I went for my walk this morning.
Yep.
Just smelled like an Iowa summer day. Not sure I'm ready for that yet as Kennedy watches that one in the dirt. I'm a guy that enjoys my cool weather a bunch.
You're a football guy. You like that fall stuff.
If I can have on a hoodie and shorts, I am in my element. And I will wear a hoodie and shorts as long as I possibly can. As that in the second we get below 70 again, I got it back on. Kennedy watches that one upstairs, draws the walk. So Kennedy's been on base a pair of times today. Once hit by a pitch, second time there by walk, and she just goes straight to second base.
Kennedy draws the walk and then goes down to second.
Well, defensive indifference there, I think.
Yeah.
Good situation for Sydney Morris to continue her hot hitting. First pitch from Morris is inside. So Mackenzie James, senior over at third base. Jordan Kennedy, the freshman, at second. And Sydney Morris, senior, at the plate. And Maddie Ott, the freshman, over in the circle. As Morris gets a hold of that one, that's a long shot to left field. One hops the fence again. 2 runs going to come around to score. Sydney Morris standing up, safe at second with a double. Nice piece of hitting by Morris.
Another great job by Sid Morris. And, I've had the fortunate enough to help coach a lot of our club teams over the years, and I have to say I think she's probably one of the best contact hitters I've seen in the high school ranks. She's just amazing. She puts the bat on the ball all the time, and rarely strikes out. When you look at that number, just a good hitter, real conscious of the strike zone, and just does a phenomenal job while she's up there.
Fourth hit of the afternoon for the Jaguars. Looks like there's going to be a little pitching change. We'll start to look at the numbers there on Tatum Dunleavy. We'll take a quick break here as we've got a Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution. We'll be back with more action here. The bottom of the second, Jaguars on top 7-0 here on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Laura here, proud to be the team for all your legal needs. Just a reminder to stick around after the game for the LGL Player of the Game. Go Jags!
And we're back with Tatum Dunleavy in right now. She's got 14 wins on the season. Dunleavy, an outstanding .29 earned run average, has struck out 131 batters so far this year. And she will see the freshman Maddie Ott, Dunleavy a junior for Coach Megan Anderson's Esterville Lincoln Central Midget squad. And as part of this whole, I didn't even count how many switches that went on, but Evelyn Nath went from first to third, and then Riley Yeager moves over to first base. And the Jaguars here with one out in the bottom of the second, looking to continue their hitting barrage right now on the midgets. Addie Pollock in at second base, running for Morris, who's 2 for 2 on the day. And Maddie Ott digs in as everybody on defense checks a sign. Looking for a bunt right now, as that first pitch is a little bit low from Dunleavy for ball one.
Yeah, just like you said, Maddie has that. She has both ends of it. She's got a little speed, but she's got power. Where she'll bunt it sometimes. Got a lot of power though too.
That pitch misses inside as well. As Ott hacks that one right over at Belzer in the on-deck circle, so we continue our freshman-senior part of the rotation. Break up with that here shortly as we get to another junior. Good spread here at Centennial. They've got a great senior class, but also some very, very talented underclassmen that are coming up as well. We talk about, Maddie Ott probably gets overshadowed a little bit with Jordan Kennedy in that freshman class, but they've got a great group down there at the freshman level playing right now. Some outstanding players there. As Ott takes a swing and a miss, there's some really, really good 8th graders coming up through the ranks as well. Obviously, you've got one of the top pitchers in the state, maybe even in the country, throwing for the Jaguars right now as an 8th grader, and that will just make that class even better. There's some important pieces coming up there.
Yeah. It's a good feeling to have, when you have that blend of leadership, senior leadership, but then you also have the younger underclassmen that are coming up, and they're being part of what's going on right now too.
As Ott looks at the changeup and takes a free pass down to first base. There for the walk. Yeah, and that's really what's made Centennial work for the last, really in the 100-plus wins in the 4 years of Brett Delaney coaching. Right. What's made Centennial work is the senior leadership, but then a great combination of those up-and-comers as well, and they've seen the success that the Jaguars have had, and it keeps feeding off each other as Belzer, who had a great hit early on, watches that first pitch upstairs. Yeah. Pollock at second, Maddie Ott over at first. Jaguars bats are alive here early on this balmy Friday afternoon. Personally, this is my first of 4 softball games for the day.
You got a full day today, huh?
Got a couple games tonight for it's 8U State here. It happens to be working out very well in our schedule because it'll be right here at Prairie Ridge Sports Complex,
nice.
which I can see the fields right through this window. Yeah,
Nice.
works out very well.
I'm gonna have 3 games. I'm gonna take in an iCubs game later on.
Nice.
Little Memphis Redbirds are in town.
You a Cardinal? Yeah, you
well,
are.
I am, but that's by
I
by
remember
marriage.
your wife telling me that. Yes, I remember that now. Yeah.
My wife grew up in St. Louis.
Belzer puts that one over through in a
Ooh.
horrible hop right there as Pollock is going to come around through. And actually, here come Ott as well, play at the plate. Ott's going to be safe. Belzer's going to be safe at second. So that was a really bad hop over there in front of the shortstop. Anderson went over her head. And then a mistake as they went to pick it up there in the outfield. And the 5th hit of the day for the Jaguars puts them up 9-0 here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, that was a pretty awkward hop there at shortstop. There's not much you can do about that. That ball hopped up and almost, I think it clipped her mask as it went by her there. And hopefully she's okay. I think she's okay. But
you don't see many bad hops on this infield.
No,
all,
that was a
but
rare one.
that's-
That was a rare one. I think it just must have caught a footprint. You know, one of the either from the previous play or previous runner, and just caught it in the wrong spot and jumped up like that.
As Belzer puts it over to the exact same spot again, Anderson tries to pick it up and make the throw across, and the ball is bobbled over there. The run's going to come across to score with Belzer. And the Jaguars now have taken a 10-0 lead in the bottom of the second. And that'll bring up Addie Starr, who's 1 for 1 on the day. 4 errors for Esterville Lincoln Central is bringing back shades of how the Jaguars played in game number 2 on Wednesday night.
Yeah,
We've been there, Esterville Lincoln Central. We've seen it.
Yeah,
It's just sometimes that things are not clicking.
Right. It got that way a little bit there the other night in that second of the game of the doubleheader with Valley.
They go with the underhanded throw. That's the second time we've seen that underhanded throw from Dunleavy. One time coming from third base, another time there coming from the pitcher's position. The Jaguars leading 7-3. I'll try to find that Ankeny score. They're playing Davis County right now. I'll try to get that score in between because we'll be waiting between games for Davis County to get here from the south side of town. As Malin Vallejo comes up to the plate, puts a bunt down, and that's going to go just foul.
Well, kind of what you were talking about the other night, that second game, the little things, and as you get to the postseason, those are the things that you got to secure. You got to nail those down and get, you don't want them to show up because you don't want them to show up at the wrong time, I guess is what you're thinking there. They make a big difference as you get into postseason because, one little thing here and there, we're going to see a lot of one-run games, and that'll make a big difference.
Vallejo watches that pitch outside on the 0-2 delivery. Jaguars, if they can put a couple more up here, the mercy rule is 12 after 3, so if they can put a couple more up, we will only have a half more of an inning here. As Vallejo watches that one upstairs as well. I'm trying to think, do the Jaguars, do they start the inning with Vallejo?
It was Starr. Yeah,
Starr, actually. Okay, Starr went off with a
yeah,
single, so
yes.
we've already batted around here.
Yeah.
There's swing and a miss by Vallejo. Strikeout there. Second one pitched by the Midgets here today. 10-0. Jaguars, though, in control as we head to the top of the third. Back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
DeArmond certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondFord.com.
We're back here. The Jaguars in control over Esterville Lincoln Central right now. A much smaller crowd than normal with this afternoon Friday game. Still not a bad crowd at all, but a lot smaller here compared to what we've normally seen.
Leading off for ELC in the top of the third, number 8, third baseman Evelyn Knapp.
Evelyn Nath playing third right now. Started off the day playing first. She's going up against Lauren Sanderholm, who's got 5 strikeouts through 2 innings so far. The outstanding 8th grader. She gets quickly ahead in that one and is even further ahead now. One and two, the count from Sanholm to Nath. And there's the swing and a miss. She works on the inside corner. Couple substitutions, actually. We've got some Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitutions as we look around the field right now. Looks like Ellie Lorenz in playing first base. That's actually, I believe, the only one.
I think that's it.
I'm guessing that's to get Jordan Kennedy warmed up. She'll be the pitcher, I believe, for the Jaguars in game number 2. Or we may even see her come in to close this game out at some point. Oh, I see there's some more fans out past the dugouts as well. So, Santa, I think she's got ahead of every batter she's faced so far today. 0-1 now.
Yeah, I was trying to go back. I was just thinking about that, going back through each batter. I think she's been in front on each batter on the first pitch.
Kara Schultz, the batter, sophomore from Esterville Lincoln Central. That pitch swung on and missed. And the count's 1-2. We don't know exactly when game number 2 will start. It's scheduled for 3 o'clock, but we'll have to wait for Davis County to work their way up here. But we will go live as soon as they're here and ready to go as Sanholm misses that one upstairs. Guess we'll just enjoy the 65-degree temperatures of the press box up
That's
here.
right. That's right. We might have a little extra free time on our hands too.
There's a swing and a miss. Sanholm, strikeout number 7 of the midgets.
Shields goes down swinging. We go back to the top of the order for ELC. Number 12, Reed Christopher. They have not hit a ball across the pitch. They only hit one.
Christopher, the leadoff hitter, as this is the 10th batter to face Sanholm here today. She struck out swinging in her first at-bat. 7 of the 8 outs by Sanholm so far have been by strikeout. That pitch is across the outside corner as well, and it's quickly 0-2 as Sanholm again works ahead in the count. She's got that Geordie ball arm swing as she waits in the circle. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Goes upstairs for strikeout number 8, if you're counting. If we had Kerry Wood in the outfield, we'd be hanging those K's right now if we had Kerry Wood pitching.
Right.
Jaguars rolling 10-0 back after this here on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats. Steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts. All raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
And we're back. Looks like the Jaguars going to work some substitutions in right now as McKenna Foster will step up in place of Mackenzie James, who had a great start to the day. Jaguars leading 10-0 right now, and with the gem that Lauren Sanholm is working on, I feel like this is the right time to get some of these substitutions in the game and get some at-bats for some girls.
I agree. It's a good time for it. You know, you get an opportunity, and it's just continued development of, like you said, we talk about some of these underclassmen, and they've got just great players that play in front of them, but they're talented themselves, and just every little opportunity you can get them in between here and there is a good chance for them to develop a little bit better.
Foster, I don't believe, has had a hit yet as a varsity player. He's going to look that up quick. She is not. She's drawn a walk. Ankeny leads Davis County 8-0 in the top of the fourth, so that game may be getting over a little early as well. First pitch there to Foster is low for ball one. The count to Foster. That pitch fouled off. She took a mighty cut. We are starting to see the Old Glory wave around a little bit in the outfield. Boy, there wasn't a breath of air out there earlier, but starting to see it move around a little bit.
I think those outside will be appreciative of that. Yes, it was pretty calm, and like you say, when it's close to 90 degrees, it's a little toasty out.
Foster fouls that one back off the new netting. Looks like Drefke's still in there to bat in the number 2 spot, as these are, I'm guessing, depending on who they are batting for right now, I'm guessing these are just pinch hitting situations, not full on substitutions. 1-2 the count here to Foster. Swing and a miss. Strike out there for Foster. Nice pitch from Dunleavy.
Foster goes down swinging for the first out for Centennial in the bottom half of the third.
And Peyton Drefke steps up to the plate.
Right fielder number 3, Peyton Drefke.
And Dunleavy coming in with some heat right now. She's got some extra juice on her pitches here in the bottom half, of the third inning. She will throw around 62, 63 miles an hour. That pitch misses inside. And it's 2-0 right now. The count to Drefke. Drefke watches that pitch upstairs. That is a strike there to Drefke. 3-1 there. Again, Drefke, if she's got her driver out, she's teeing off on that thing, but
see what she gets here.
It's a good solid contact there in the right center field. Great effort, but just not quite caught in center field. It rolls back to almost to the fence before it's gathered in. Great effort, though, by Kara Schultz. She nearly had it out in center field. Covered a lot of ground to get there.
She did. I tell you what, that was it was an impressive effort. I love watching kids when they just lay out on the field out there and give it all to make a play for their team like that. And she didn't come up with it, but I tell you, she just needed her glove to be about 6 inches longer, and she would have had it.
She Superman to that one.
Yes.
Yeah. Full extension. They check with her to make sure all is good. So Drefke there with the double. And that'll bring up Jordan Kennedy again. He's been on base, a couple free passes. Well, she had to earn it the first time by taking a hit by pitch. And Ankeny leading Davis County right now 8-0 on the south side of town. And I got to look that up. Is it the Mustangs? For some reason I'm thinking Davis County is the Mustangs. Yep, okay, they'll be coming. Kennedy drives that one out into right field. It's going to be caught out there. And Drefke waits, and that was a good decision because that was a very, very nice throw coming out there from Haley Stokes in right field. And we've got another Hearts of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution, McKenna Vallejo, in to hit. I see Damon Miller has made his way over to the softball side. I think there's a baseball game he'll probably be leaving to head over to shortly. But Megan Anderson, the head coach for Estherville Lincoln Central, that was one of the names she mentioned. They're good friends with the Miller family. So I'm not sure what the connection is there, but Coach Anderson's son is a walk-on safety at Iowa State. Easton Miller will be heading to Iowa State next year as well to play. So She mentioned how much she loves Matt Campbell and everything they're doing up there at Iowa State, and also said when her son came back, he was huge. After his first year at school.
Got him on that program, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
1-0 the count right now to McKenna Vallejo, who's choked way up there on her bat, and now she's going to try to figure out a way to get a couple more runs across and end this game early with the mercy rule. Choked way up once again. Shows bunt, pops it up, and that's going to be caught over there by Rushy. And that's 3 outs. So they do put the Jaguars down that time. Jaguars, though, leading 10-0. We'll be back after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
Summer sports coverage on Centennial Digital is driven by Freedom Tire and brought to you by these generous local businesses. Lamberti Goki Lucci Law, Keystone Home Inspections, Reed Plumbing, the Iowa Rush Soccer Club, 72 Degrees, your comfort company, the Sassy Flower Bakery, Alter Trading Corporation, West 40 Market, Nolte & Sons Lawn and Irrigation, Rod Brannon with Shelter Insurance, the New York Life Offices of Josh Cowart, Dr. Brett Renzi and Health First Chiropractic, U.S. Cellular, the Helpful Smiles of Hy-Vee, Dr. Christy Semro with iMart Express, and Springer Floor Care.
All right, we're going to try to follow along here. So if you're scoring at home, get your score sheets out. So Jaguars have made some major substitutions here. Jordan Kennedy into pitch, the freshman, is 1-0 on the season with a 2.0 earned run average. Mariah Belzer has moved from shortstop to third. Lauren Sanholm, who was pitching, is now at shortstop. And Addie Starr, who was at third, is over at first. Cora Boyle, still at second base, and the outfield is the same. So I think I got everything there. So if you need to text me or tag me at Jags Digital on Twitter if you need something clarified.
You got it right.
So Riley Yeager steps up to the plate now. That first pitch from Jordan Kennedy is fouled off in on the hands of Yeager. Yeager started the game at pitcher. Jaguars jumped all over the very talented sophomore, as she doesn't give up much, and after they threw it around a little bit, the Jags found themselves ahead 10-0, and that's where we stand here in the top of the fourth. Kennedy tosses that one through as well. Another strike. And now it's 0-2. Kennedy goes way outside. Kennedy, her pitching appearances this year on the varsity level, I haven't looked back. It hasn't been as much as a year ago. The Jaguars so deep, they'll have 5 pitchers that have wins right now at the varsity level. Kennedy's one of them. And she goes upstairs for that one. She just got that extra flick of the wrist at the end that really brings, when it times up with her hip, there's a lot of velocity coming through on those pitches.
Yes, there is.
Here's the 2-2. Swung on and lined over, and that is foul ball. Umpires look at each other. Belzer almost, I couldn't tell if she got a glove on it over there or not.
For a second there, I thought maybe she had just tipped it, but I couldn't. At that point, I think her glove was in the foul territory, and then of course it's going to be a foul ball.
It is now 2-2, and that pitch is in the dirt from Kennedy. Top of the fourth inning here on the north side of Ankeny. Kennedy, ball is fouled off. I thought that ball was fouled. No, it was not. So it was a drop third strike, but Yeager, who now is hobbling, looks like she may have tweaked something as she came out of the box.
Yeager strikes out but reaches on the drop third strike.
She's going to try to walk that one off. Yep, holding her right ankle down there at first base.
It was interesting. I think she didn't realize it was a pass ball and started to turn to the dugout, and when she realized it was, when she made that pivot move, I think she tweaked her ankle off that first step, and then but still made it down there to the bag before the throw.
Looks like another Hearts of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution as Addison Hoagie is coming in to run for Jaeger. Jaeger will probably have the opportunity to pitch here in the next game, and she's their bell cow this year. I shouldn't say that about a young lady.
No, yeah.
Oh, I've got 4 daughters. I know better than saying that. They have worked her very good this year. She's been very good in her sophomore year. That pitch upstairs from Kennedy to Dunleavy, the other pitcher here in the game for Esterville Lincoln Central. Kennedy looks in to get the signal. Swing and a miss. So we have not seen Lauren Gustafson. We've not seen Jaden Stair today. I'm not sure that we will. Out in this heat, Stair, I know, battling a little bit of an illness, so I doubt we will see her out here. Another swing and a miss there. Kennedy has 1 strikeout in this inning, but no outs.
It's the nice part of having some depth on your pitching staff. Somebody's hurt, or like you say, get an illness or have to miss for a certain reason. It's nice to be able to go to somebody else and feel like you got a good quality pitcher going in there right behind her.
Jordan Kennedy gets her 2nd strikeout of the inning. However, only 1 out on the scoreboard because one of them was the dropped 3rd strike rule, and that'll bring up the right fielder Haley Stokes, who's covered a lot of ground out in right field today. Looks like they wanted to bunt and sacrifice over, but she changed her mind. You could tell over at first as Hoagie, 8th grader over there, she was getting ready to head towards second as well on a little hit and run.
Mm-hmm.
There's a strike on the upward part of the zone from Kennedy. One and one the count. That ball popped up there into shallow center field, and Mackenzie James can't quite get there. She actually had it in her glove, an outstanding effort, but that's going to be ruled a hit. But actually the first hit of the day for Esterville Lincoln Central. Mackenzie James, full extension, had it in her glove actually, but just that is not an ordinary play at all for a center fielder to make.
Yeah, because she was almost, she was getting close to the infield there by the time she dove forward for that, and just barely out of, well, it wasn't really out of her reach, like you said. It looked like it fell in the glove and then just rolled out.
And she would have had the opportunity to turn a double play because Hoagie was already on second base. I mean, it did not look like anybody was going to catch that at all, as that first pitch there from Kennedy to Hillary Rushy is a strike, swung on and missed. Kennedy goes with their little slider look there for a ball on the outside. There's another pitch swung on and missed. A pitch popped up foul territory over here to the right side. Ankeny leads 9-0 in the top of the 5th now over Davis County. Can he miss there? They throw back and safe over there at first as Hoagie does head to third.
Real close play there.
It was.
First, I thought actually had the tag on it on the runner there, but called safe.
So still just 1 out right now, and the count is 2-2 to Rushy. That ball is fouled off. Just watching the home plate umpire as he comes running over there. Just the things you do during the course of a game. And that time, Tim Rogers, he fouled the ball all the way over there and just tapped the fence like that was his thing. Got to touch it and then head back over.
Yep.
Runners in the corners for Estherville Lincoln Central, threatening for the first time today. That pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 3 as Kennedy gets her third strikeout of the inning, but there's only 2 outs now. Between Kennedy and 8th grader Lauren Sandel, there's been 11 strikeouts pitched today. J.C. Anderson now, the lefty coach's daughter, steps up to the plate. Pitch swung on, missed. Runner goes. Morris going to throw down, and the run's going to come across to score. So Estherville Lincoln Central gets one up on the board for the first time today as the Jags elect to try to get that third out. Stokes is going to be in there safe. As Kennedy gets that one lined over, that's going to be a hit out to left field. Ott tosses it in right away. Runner goes to second, so Estherville Lincoln Central threatening here a little bit more in the top of the 4th.
Yeah. Probably talk about, there's probably a little thing that'll be discussed, even though in the situation is hitting your cut maybe on that particular throw on the way back in, just making sure that runner doesn't advance down to second base, keep it at first and third at least for the first pitch anyway of the next batter. It's a different situation when you have runners automatically sitting over there on second and third versus first and third.
So the same players are in the game for Centennial all the way around, just everybody mixed up a little bit here at different spots. As that pitch is swung on as well, and the count is now 1-1 to Jordan Stokes. Another swing and a miss there from Stokes. Here's the 1-2. There it is on the outside corner. Kennedy picks up her 4th strikeout of the inning. Jaguars lead 10-1, and we'll be back as they try to end this one in the bottom of the 4th after this on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
DeArmond certified used vehicles aren't the same as the rest.
Every DeArmond certified vehicle receives a 175-point inspection and comes with a 12-month, 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty, a 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, and DeArmond Care. Wheel, dent, windshield repair, repel paint and windshield protection, and a full tank of fuel.
Buy with confidence, knowing you made a wise decision with DeArmond Certified.
Find DeArmond certified used vehicles at DeArmondFord.com.
So when an athlete walks into Nick Drosh Fitness, the one thing we want them to know is that this is a phenomenal community. We have the best.
Maddie Ott going to lead things off for the Jaguars here in the bottom of the 4th. Looks like Mary Brantley will pinch hit as well for, that would be what, Belzer after Ott?
Yes, that would be in the Belzer slot, the 6th hole.
Brantley, a sophomore, that will be coming in to hit. As Ott ends up fouling that one off, and must have hit her there in the box. The check swing and a ball landed right in front of the plate. One of those awkward moments where, oh, I better run.
yeah, ball's in play. Well, that's, but I like that though. I mean, you don't just assume, you play it out, and you can always get called back.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Ott, outside. One to Maddie. Pitch misses just upstairs. That pitch hacked over into right field, fouled off. Over in the little picnic area. Looks like that's developed out there in right field in foul territory.
Oh yeah, there's a little group down there.
Now 1-2 the count to Ott. Pitch is in the dirt. Dunleavy didn't like the original the sign there, so she got to the pitch that she did want. It's a full count now from Dunleavy to Maddie Ott. Upstairs, Ott draws the walk.
Good piece of hitting there by Maddie, just being patient, wait. Walks can be just as dangerous as a base hit.
And that'll bring up Mary Brantley for the Jaguars. Batting, like we said, for Belzer.
Yes.
Brantley searching for that first varsity hit right now. The sophomore. With Maddie out on first. Nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth. Jaguars lead 10-1. Pitches upstairs to Brantley.
I was at some events in the fall there with where Mary was playing when we had a couple teams there, and she's got a pretty strong bat. I think just developing her consistency as we go here.
That pitch is popped up over there and just gets out of play. Hits the top of the Jaguar dugout.
But I know she does have some power.
She asked for time to dig in here with Maddie Ott at first. 1-1 the count. Pitch fouled back at us. Yeah, you can tell with that swing she is looking to do some damage at the plate.
She was on that one there. Fouled it straight back. Just missed it.
Here's the 1-2. Ott goes, and she's going to be in there safe at second base on the hook slide around. Grabs it with her left hand as she comes around out there. And now a runner in scoring position for Mary Brantley. Jags, if they can get ahead by 12 here, they will end the game. 3 runs away from that here in the bottom of the fourth. Davis County not quite done with their game yet. Brantley watches that pitch in the dirt down on the south side of town, so we'll wait for them to get here and go live again on Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire, today on the Central Iowa Sports Network. Got to get our batteries charged back up, too, on some of our cameras. Heat's draining them early today. Brantley hacks that one to left field, and that is going to be
there it is.
Off the scoreboard. Mary Brantley, the home run. Her first varsity hit is a big one as she knocks it off the bottom of the third inning.
Thanks, Mary. You made me prophetic. I had it right. Like I said, she's got power and develops that consistency. She's going to be an asset for them as we go in the future. In her next few years, she is an underclassman, and she'll be around for a couple more years.
So her first varsity hits in style as she puts that one deep off the top. And there's no wind out there today. That is still, as the umpire brings over and exchanges, gives the home run ball to the Centennial dugout. And now the Jaguars just need one more run to end this one early here by way of the mercy rule. Cora Boyle steps up to the plate. She's been hitting the ball very well lately. First pitch upstairs.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I think she's improved her. I was trying to think of what her average was last year.
She was in the mid twos, I
yeah,
think.
right.
Around
And she's bumped it up. I was gonna say 100 points or so. It's just she's done a great job this year, batting down there at the bottom of the lineup, or the bottom part of the lineup. I guess she's not always in the 9 spot, but she's down in that area.
Nice to have a 385 hitter at your 8 spot.
Absolutely.
I guess 7 today.
Yeah.
But she's batted all the way anywhere between 7 and 9 this year. But it's tough to crack your way into that top part of the lineup. She pops that one late. Wait for it. Oh, I thought we were going to get the hail on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
1-2 the count right now to Cora Boyle. Watches the changeup drop off the table. That's a tough pitch to lay off.
That was. I thought she was going to have to. I thought there might be a called strike 3 there. It was a very close. It was a very good pitch there on that inside corner.
That pitch misses upstairs just like that. There's a full count. Well, Mary Brantley took one deep off the full count. See what Cora Boyle can do here. Swung on, and that's right to that spot that Randy Vogel said she likes out there in right field. And that is caught out there by Stokes.
Boyle flies out to Haley Stokes in right field for the first out for the Jags in the bottom half of the 4th. Brings up number 12, first baseman Addie Starr.
Addie Starr back up, working on a nice day of hitting. Looks like Lauren Sandholm will hit as well. One out here in the bottom of the 4th. The Jaguars 1 run away from ending this game with a mercy rule. Not so certain we'll see that we wouldn't see Lauren Sandholm start pitching game number 2 as well today, as she only went 2 full innings, 3 innings, 3 full innings, and did not throw many pitches, as she had 8 strikeouts in those 3 innings.
Yeah,
did not give up a hit.
Just the 1 walk, her only mistake, quote unquote, of the day.
2-1 right now, the count to Starr. Swings, and that one is lined out into center field. Addie Starr now on a multiple hit day.
Addie Starr with a line shot up the middle for a base hit.
Yeah, Addie having a good day. You like to see Addie. I think we've seen her working her way back here this season. As the season progresses, she maybe started a little slower than she wanted to, but she's starting to putting a lot of good contact on the ball now. So just finding the holes.
Another Heart of Ankeny Animal Hospital substitution, Ruby Sprecher in there to run at first, and then Sandholm, as we talked about before, her pitching, but now has a chance to hit. And if she can knock in Sprecher, this game will be over. Bunt was showed. Sprecher's going to move to second.
Sprecher moves to second on the wild pitch.
Good chance for these umpires to work on their 3-man mechanics here before the postseason. It's a little bit different rotation. You see the first base umpire starts to come home there as the home plate umpire heads to third, and just a little bit different. Things that are automatic with 2-man become a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Sandholm puts that one in off the hands, and she will be out at first, but does advance Starr to third, and back to the top of the order are the Jaguars with Mackenzie James.
Yeah, just like players have to react to situations, the umpires have that same responsibilities. And that 2-man crew to the 3-man crew, it varies, and like you say, the responsibilities of where they go is different.
Ankeny won 10-0 in 5, so Davis County is on their way here, so we likely won't have to wait a whole lot between games, and we'll get our feed started as soon as we possibly can. As James puts that one into foul territory, Sprecher going to have to make that 60-foot sprint home and then turn around and head back.
A little exercise.
(12-1) Jaguars. If Ruby Sprecher can score, this game will be over. That's upstairs to Mac with Peyton Drefke on deck. Andy Pollock, Kevin Fisher here with you today. Cash Von Bali directing our show. Ellie Pollock and Bella Anderson on the cameras. As James puts that one, and that's going to drop out there, and Sprecher will score. And that's a base hit for James. Sprecher scores, and that's going to do it. The Jaguars win 13-1. A little duck snort for Mackenzie James out into right field, and I've been waiting for a long time this year to use duck snort, and I finally am able to do it today.
Opportunity presents itself, and you stepped up.
Well, this was a very good win for the Jaguars against a quality opponent. Esterville Lincoln Central came in ranked 5th in Class 3A, and actually coming up next is Davis County, who's ranked 4th, in Class 3A. A couple pitchers that have been nearly unhittable today, and the Jaguars able to pound out 9 hits off them.
Yeah, they just ran into a good hitting crew in the Jaguars today, and it's one of those situations. It's a good team that's over there. It was a good win for the Jaguars. Esterville, they'll be back. They're a strong team, like you said, and I could expect them to see more success as the season goes on.
As we can't gloss over the fact that 8th grader Lauren Sandholm pitched 3 innings of no-hit softball before she was relieved, and we may see her pitch next. And that's not going to be the last time we see Sandholm not give up a hit when she plays. I mean, she's already done it through like 6 innings this year. She hasn't been able to quite finish out a no-hitter, but has been able to do that this year. And I hope Jaguar fans realize what we're witnessing when she's out there, because that is she may be a special one-time talent in the circle.
Yeah, I agree. When you start talking about she's an 8th grader, she's a kid that's got years of maturity for high school yet just to come, and then who knows where it goes from there. And she's got a lot of potential to be a very quality, already is, but something unique in the state of Iowa as the time goes on.
Well, the Jaguars win 13-1. That's going to do it for game number 1. We're going to take a break, charge up the batteries, and probably within about a half hour have our game on the air here with Davis County. Thanks, everybody, for listening, and this has been another production of Girl Dad Media here, Centennial Digital, driven by Freedom Tire.
West 40 Market in Uptown Ankeny is your place to shop for the best meats, steaks, brats, jerky, and everything in between. Let us be your one-stop shop for all your favorite cuts, all raised on local Iowa farms. Shopping local never tasted so good.
Everything we do is here to benefit the client. Every decision that's needed to be made, the first question you should ask is, does this benefit the client, and is this the best thing for the client?
Our goal is to make a difference. We have the tools, resources, training, and leadership to make a difference in our agents' lives and their careers. And then they can then take that to make a difference in their clients' lives and ultimately make a difference in our communities.
We are available basically 24/7 to make sure that our agents are getting the support they need to look like $1 million in front of their clients.